Hey everybody, this is Banter City, streaming live from warm, sunny Mumbai. Just kidding, okay guys. So today is the official launch date for Cardano smart contracts. And if you don't know what Cardano is, it's the number third market cap, number third ranked crypto project. So the guy you're looking at, his name is Charles Hoskinson, and he makes such cool videos every day about Cardano. He addresses a lot of issues, politics, really cool guy, cool stuff. But in this thread, we're gonna look at some Cardano FUD. Basically, the OPS asked, explain like I'm 5 why this genius will fail and ADA is shit. So the reasons why Cardano will fail is the question, and as responsible investors, we have to take both the good and the bad part. So let's brace in for some FUD. Someone says he won't fail because I invest in people. I listen to his presentations. He doesn't use gimmicks, clothes, expensive shit, or change his voice. It's just him. He's confident in what he's talking about. Okay, so this guy doesn't look at the product, but he invests because Charles is confident. Okay, that's not a very good way to start. But anyway, he's not answering OP's question. In fact, he's saying Cardano will not fail. Very good. And we got some pointless comments. And this one's a valid criticism. He seems more concerned with being a public intellectual than building a scalable product. And I kind of agree with this because Charles Hoskinson has been more of a, I would say, PR for Cardano than a builder. Sure, the scientists who work for Cardano, the universities that research on it, are the ones that are building the product. And whenever there's a criticism online, Charles Hoskinson takes it up and starts addressing them in his videos. And that's very, I would say, odd compared to any other crypto project founder who rarely discuss such FUDs. Daily FUDs are meant to be ignored. Alright, this is an interesting one because this is a criticism on Cardano's tech. ADA is trying to board a moving train. The constrained model was conceived when crypto had nothing. And the most popular dApp. So back when Cardano was conceptualized, there were only a couple of dApps present. And now we've got tens of thousands of dApps. And since today they'll be launching smart contracts, soon the decentralized apps will start to onboard on Cardano. They chose an idiotic language to dev in, and they chose this language called Haskell, and it's being called idiotic by this poster. Now the solution is literally just make a sidechain if you want DeFi, just batch it and make computation off-chain, bro. Or even worse, just fragment the liquidity, bro. Okay, so before we dig into this, let's try to understand what the main criticism. Okay, the main criticism is that Cardano makes use of EUTXO model, and UTXO stands for unspent transaction output. Okay, and this model is what is used by Bitcoin. It was used by the first generation blockchain, Bitcoin. Basically, Bitcoin blockchain just records the transactions and not the balance, not the account balance. So you have to compute the unspent transaction output, using which you derive the account balance. So similarly, Cardano uses a similar model, and that is the crux of this criticism. It's not Charles' fault. It's Haskell. The scam is Haskell. It's a language made by people who don't ship products. It's a university professor's wet dream of making everything a freaking boxed communist egalitarian. Okay, TLDR. Haskell is a scam made by academia, and Charles got bamboozled. I guess developers could weigh in more on that, but Definitely, every smart contract platform just brings up their own, I guess, a different programming language. Ethereum has Solidity, and that's kind of considered as the industry standard for smart contracts. And almost every other project is trying to port into Ethereum by trying to build bridges or some kind of mechanism to get some liquidity to get builders to build on their respective platforms. Okay, and the next criticism we have is someone calling Hoskinson a cult leader and centralized point of failure, and they have no way around this. Okay, this is the same criticism, so we'll move on. But yes, Charles does claim that they have a plan of action to get past this issues with UTXO and reconciling UTXO and smart contracts. We'll have to see. I agree that he's articulate and I enjoy his videos, but he's giving a soliloquy reflecting on the war of terror at the night before his non-project is about to launch to probable failure. Okay, that's very negative, but we'll take that. And here goes the typical accusation. Charles is a narcissistic psychopath. Why are you doing exactly what he wants to do? Bet you would go to his farm too. Okay, let's go back. All right, this is a summary of all that we've talked about so far. Cannot scale, no ecosystem. I guess Cardano fans would be able to refute most of that criticism, so I'll just skip it. It's pretty negative and doesn't have substance. Okay, this is really an amazing criticism, I would say. Charles Hoskinson, hypes up the most basic features and uses big words to gain a cult following. Every feature of ADA has existed on multiple chains for some time, and the only innovative feature is sharding or Hydra. Alright, we'll stop at that. So and I totally agree with this guy's criticism that Cardano's features are very basic, and when it comes to smart contract platforms, and many of their competitors are far ahead of them, but they are languishing in the coin market cap rankings. But I have a feeling that this criticism will not hold water because Bitcoin itself is very basic, and despite that fact, it still manages to get all the money. So there's this some kind of a halo effect to all the projects at the top 10, and whenever there's a dip or dump, money flows into them first. So, as the saying goes, money follows money. Cardano, despite putting up the basic features, putting together only the basic features, developers will still want to build on it because there's plenty of money in the platform. Alright, this criticism says, okay, so his consensus model is just TPAS with a slightly verifiable random selection function. It's slightly better than EOS, but who gives a shit? Solana, Avalanche, and Algorand all have interesting consensus models. He uses Bitcoin architecture. I just told you about that UTXO for smart contracts, which can be interesting. Maybe it's a new standard for smart contracts, though Algorand also something is similar, blah blah blah. It's not a bad project. The question is, does it deserve to be as high as it is? That question can simply be answered by saying money follows money. So there's a good chance that devs could jump in and start taking advantage of all the liquidity and the network and the community that's built around Cardano. I bet he was itching around all day anticipating how thirsty his votaries have gotten for the sweet timbre of his warm, reassuring Coloradan cadence. He knew he had to weigh in. How could history proceed without Charles Hoskinson's thoughts on public record? That made me laugh because really, Charles Hoskinson weighs in on almost anything that's happening in the world of crypto, and I guess sometimes it just feels like he's just doing PR for Cardano than being a CEO and just talking about the basic visions. He's got so much time, I guess. Okay. Alright, this guy says Charles Hoskinson is full of buzzwords and not much substance. He's talking quickly and confidently, writing rubbish, rubbing it out, writing more rubbish. It's all an act, I would say. I'm surprised that people have taken in by his shtick, but I actually get it. He's a good con man. Alright, I believe that might trigger some Cardano fans, but that's okay, guys. We're all here for some, I guess, criticism and toxic hate by haters. So let's let that sink in. Let's take the good part and take the bad part. I guess skip the bad part. I'm sorry. Okay, this one, I've worked with someone just like this before. Any small feature or conversation that came up with this guy would get out his markers and draw on board for hours. Everyone would get annoyed and slowly walk away to actually start working. Then when it comes the time to implement the things, this person would expect others to implement things while they worked on some obscure useless tool or adoption due to the ridiculous tech choices they made. It was the worst. Alright, there's another comment that says he's genius. He's managed to pump his useless vapor over 90 freaking $billion. Dogecoin is a better investment at this point. Oh my god, that just is salt. Alright, let's see. What does this say? Character will never be produced by money. I'll invest my money in people. Okay. I hope you're not a Coomer, if that's an ideal of yours. Self-proclaimed genius. I guess that was quite the banter for this video. If you want to read more, that's some pretty funny comments too. Some good technical comments as well. And some comments about how Charles is a pathological liar, how he was claiming to be Satoshi in 2014. I guess that's from the book of Ethereum by someone. Okay, let's just end this video here. If you enjoyed this content, hit that like and subscribe button for more such banter on crypto and other world topics. Cheers, guys.